So, tell us about yourself. Where you from? North Philly. Right?
Before we get into that, what makes Malaysia a special guest? She is an aspiring transgender model, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Now, what's the other word? Transgender, transsexual. Is it one and the same, or is it a different?
Transsexual is when you had operation.
Okay.
Transgender is when you're just identifying as a female, you like a
Pre-op is what it's called, right? Yeah.
Right.
So, are you transsexual or transgender?
I'm transgender.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I want to be clear. You know, I did my little research, and that can be offensive depending on who you're talking to or whatnot. So.
That's cool, man. What's up, homie? I will give you a handshake, but I don't want to show you.
Let's get into the show. Go ahead.
Tell us about yourself and how was it growing up, and when exactly, at what age did you know that you wanted to become a woman?
Well, y'all know I'm from North Philly.
Yeah.
From 18th Cumberland. I grew up, it wasn't like that hard for me because I had family members that was pretty much like known or like well respected. So growing up outside wasn't hard for me. Of course, it's bullies everywhere.
Right.
But I had more problems on the inside, like as far as like acceptance, because I had like majority of male cousins and stuff like that. I mean, things is different now, but you know, when you're young and you know, gay and you know, you don't the creep out of the crowd or whatever, you don't fit in. It's like, you know, you go through stuff with your cousins because they don't want you to be that way. And then now, like, they love you, so they got to protect you from, you know, everybody in the outside world. So it's a lot growing up. And then, like, personal issues, you know, scared, you go through inner stuff. Like, it's a lot.
A lot of hiding.
Yeah. Well, me honestly, like, I was naturally feminine, so it wasn't so much I could hide. Like, I was attracted to, you know, doll babies for Christmas and jumping rope with girls and always wanted to hang with the girls. I got an older sister, so I always wanted to be with her. And never wanted to be with my twin brother. I got a twin brother as well.
Really?
Never, yeah.
What's his name?
Maurice.
Shout out Maurice. What's up, Maurice? Is he on?
No, he don't really do the internet thing. Like, we're opposite. Like, he's the sports, humble, laid back.
Yeah, that's when you started a lot of shit on Spice Game.
Oh my God.
God.
But he's more like laid back, play the video game, chill in the house type of guy. Like, I'm more of the outgoing, friendly, one go out type of guy.
Okay.
All right. So I did see your Instagram page. Just to say, I seen the pictures when you were younger, and it looked like you were, like you said, always effeminate. Had a softer female look to you, what have you. So,
Do you believe you were born that way?
exactly.
Well, to be honest, like people might not believe it, but when I was younger, I had like a disorder. I don't know what the doctors call it, but it's when two twins are sharing the same egg or something like that, and he takes more of my male chromosome, basically. So if you look at my twin brother, if he, like to this day, I have no body hair, no facial, like, you know, I never really grow it, like, you know, as opposed to him, he's like hairy as a wolf, like, you know, he's bigger, masculine, like, I, you know, never had that growing up, like,
That's like
muscles and stuff.
that hermaphrodite type thing, I think. I don't know. No, that's more of both, right?
So I wish I was more so a hermaphrodite because I would have both sexual genitals.
Yeah.
You know, so it would be like a easier decision to get the surgery as opposed to
Having a,
having.
I can't imagine. It had to be extremely painful.
What
We
was
don't have
painful?
to talk about it. Like afterwards, like getting the surgery.
Oh, well, I never had the surgery, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
We
she
just
did.
explained that.
That's why I asked the question.
I thought she said she did. I thought you said you did.
No, I said I'm transgender, not transsexual.
Got you. Okay. All right. Cool.
So, I feel we're asking this. Are you going to get the surgery? Is that a plan, or you're not sure?
I don't want to like bring people in the uproar, but like religiously speaking, no, I don't want to do surgery because it's like too much to answer for. Like weird stuff. And getting a vagina, like that's a lot to answer to, like, you know, on a day of judgment, like as opposed to like getting fake titties. You can either get them taken out or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to like completely, like you know, sex changes is completely changing the game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Are you against it?
I'm not against it. I just, in my professionalism, like I wouldn't do it only because like, one, I'm passable enough. Wouldn't work at a pussy do for me. Like, I get plenty dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think a pussy gonna change the game for me. Like, no shit.
Okay.
I can go to the club. I can be on a nigga arm and the nigga won't know my kid. You know what I'm saying? So, it varies for me. I don't like to play a dangerous game. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with niggas that don't know my teeth stuff. That's not my get to. I like the niggas to know what they're getting into.
So do you think you would ever, being that you're not for getting a surgery, do you think you would ever go back to take on a masculine persona, or?
I was just having that conversation.
Right.
I think honestly, like as I'm young, like I said, I've always been feminine, but I think I would take that route just so I can get right religiously. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's weird. It might sound like I'm crazy or something, but I was just thinking.
You're saying exactly what I said.
Right.
I said this before. I said as people grow older, they start to think like, you know, like transgender people.
Right.
You know, they start to feel like, you know what, like, all right, I don't want to die like this. You know what I mean? I know that sounds kind of fucked up, but it's like,
it's
you know,
true.
It's true. Like, I don't have any kids. I don't have nobody to leave my legacy on. I didn't get up in no guts.
Well, I'm allergic to tuna fish. I'm allergic to the deep sea. Now, the fishing rod is always going to be my thing. That's something I can always repent for. But as far as like dying in a transgender state and being a full girl, and you know, like I don't want to go to God like that. Like, you know, with titties, and I don't want to go like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's something I do think about and consider. Because, you know, I have family that's Muslim, that's religious, and you know, I think about that a lot. Like, you know, building a better relationship.
Just for the sake of the question for the public, you said you don't want to go to God that way. So if it's something that you feel that deeply, that passionately about, why? You're big.
She got like 50 years. Like,
if it's something,
Oh, it's probably 300 people on here.
all right. So if it's something you feel that passionately about, then why present that way at all?
Well, I feel like you only have one life to live, and you know, growing up, I was Christian. Like, you know, I was baptized, and I feel like, you know, you don't know the truth until you really live the truth. You actually, like, and it's different when, let's say, religiously a messenger come to you and he's telling you what's right. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it that way. Let's talk about religiously speaking right now. The messenger comes to you. It's up to you to take the messenger word or not. Am I correct?
That's absolutely true.
So you'll be, the angels, good and bad, they're going to write you down for your good deeds and your bad deeds. So me knowing the truth, I'm going to die in that state of being a hypocrite only because I didn't take that route. I chose not to take that route. But I'm allowed to sin because I was born into it. You know what I'm saying? And nobody is perfect. So with that being said, being young, I'm allowed to live life and create my mistakes. And it's up to me to repent for it. You know what I'm saying? Period.
I hear what you're saying. And I can relate in that I think you're a person whose religious guilt is stopping you from living the life that you really want to live.
Yeah.
Because I was scared to get tattoos. I had tattoos. I was scared to drink. I was scared to smoke. I was afraid to live my life, even watch certain movies, because of my family's religious background. Once I gave that shit up, I live how I want to live without guilt. I think if this is how you truly feel inside, maybe, I don't know, give up your religion. That's hard to tell somebody to do.
No.
But
I wouldn't say give it up because nobody can tell you to pray. Nobody can tell you what to do. And nobody can tell you, you know, who is your Lord and who you can pray to. I don't care what you live. You know what I'm saying? Or who's the holiest person, Christian, Jew. I don't care. Nobody can tell you who you can pray to. That's just how I feel.
Do you still go to church?
No.
Okay.
No.
How do you feel about you know, going back to you saying that, you know, you're transgender? How do you feel? How important is it? Do you feel? Because I'm pretty sure that there are guys that look at you and decide to shoot their shot, but may not know. How important is it for you for them to know your background, opposed to getting to know you and opening up to. How do you feel about that? Do you feel as though that's something that you should tell them when you're ready to tell them?
That's a
Or
priority.
that's something that you should tell them up front.
That's a priority. And why it's a priority? Because we live in a time where niggas is killing their homies just for the simplest shit. So what makes you think they ain't gonna kill me for not knowing? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to.
So you feel as though that you should be upfront and tell them.
For sure.
I fucks with you, man.
Give them that choice. Like, you don't want nobody to walk in and, you are pretty, you are passable. And you don't know what that nigga might get into at the end of the day. But you ain't gonna, never not give the nigga the choice, because now his demons gonna fuck with him, his heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's like I told somebody, like, it's, I'm not gonna say it's right to, like, kill, like you meet a transgender and you're attracted to her and you find out she's a man and you kill her. I'm not saying that that's right, but I can say that I understand, because like,
I can understand.
yeah, it's like imagine lusting for a person that you thought was was a woman, and you come to find out she probably got a dick bigger than yours, and it's like, I'm not being smart or funny, I'm just saying, like,
No,
I'm being serious, like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine what that would do to not just your mental state, but your pride as well. You know what I mean? Like, and
let me put it to you this way. I would feel some type of way if I met a dyke, because these butches is looking way better than the niggas nowadays. I would feel some type of way if the doctors came up with a surgery where these bitches could wear dicks on that and it looked real and feel.
I think they
it
do
looked
that.
real and feel real. Well, I haven't ran across it, and I pray to God I don't.
Yeah.
But I would feel some type of way if I ran across a girl and she was a guy that I thought was, you know what I'm saying?
I don't
She's
think
really
they can get erect though.
I don't know.
I just think it's their heart.
I'll decide.
Yeah, it got to, yeah.
Blood
Yeah,
flow.
but that's what I'm saying. You gotta have blood flow for it to
Like,
get
it's
erect.
a give and
Yeah.
take on that with everything. Just like you can get a pussy and it might look real, but it can't nut. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a give and take with everything.
Yeah.
So,
But-
I mean, my girlfriend asks this all the time with the fake pussy. When somebody busts in it, where does it go?
It comes back out.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It falls back out.
I
don't know, nigga.
Like, that's weird.
That was a dumb
Maybe they
expression.
dish it out. Like,
Yeah.
it probably smell bad. Like,
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Do fake pussy stink? Like,
yes, of course.
I'm saying, like, could it smell as worse as the
If real
real
pussy smell.
I'm
if
just
real
saying,
pussy
like,
stink,
it's like
what
that.
makes you think
What's the
fake
reason
pussy
why women pussy stink? Like,
No, pussy smell bad, period. I don't care about. I don't care about it
I
smell
beg
like
to disagree.
water
I beg
and
to
all that
disagree.
bullshit.
Now that shit got smell like vanilla. Or
Oh,
strawberry or
nah.
something like that to me.
I'm alright.
But but anyway, no, we're not going to do that because I don't know if right. Anyway, do you feel as though what you said as far as being upfront? Do you think being upfront would totally eliminate like a lot of the scandalous things that you hear? I don't think it would be.
Let me tell you why. Because
I think it helps.
niggas be knowing.
Something.
Niggas can stare at your hands and know. Niggas can stare at your jawline and know. Niggas can stare at your shoulders and know. Niggas can stare. And it could be how you move, how you react. You know, a nigga could say, yo, what's up? I'm trying to talk to you. And these bitches be too flamboyant. Go ahead. That's
Yeah,
too
I've always
much.
said, I always said that with gay men and some transgender, like, women don't even act like that.
Right.
It's a show.
Right.
You're putting on a show to how you think women act, and that's not how women
Because
actually
real
act.
girls humble themselves. They don't even look at men. You know what I'm saying? When niggas try to talk to them, they stare at the ground and they keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? If a nigga adamant, they adamant. Like, you know what I'm saying? They adamant. And then you tell them. That's when we go back to keeping it real.
Yeah.
But you're not obligated to say, oh yeah, well, you know, transgender ran across my foot. Like, you can't do that.
No, I'm not saying that. Like, no, I'm not saying that.
But if you meet a nice guy and he's, you know, oh yeah, I want to take you to my house, that's getting too personal. But if we at the bar conversating, nigga, I'm not telling you nothing.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm
so-
just saying, like, once you get to we talking, and I'm like, yo, look, man, I'm trying to do this, that, and the third.
Yeah, when it gets personal,
Yeah.
like niggas, because you know, always trying to cut a check with little to nothing. But you know, some niggas might want to take you home for the night or whatever. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
All right, so this kind of transitions into my other question. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I probably should have sent everybody a link. The situation that happened with Genuine. Did you see the interview?
No.
Yeah, so, you see that
Let me
interview?
That's all right.
All right, so Genuine was on some show. I think it's like a whole transgender panel or what have you.
No, it wasn't a panel. It was like a celebrity retreat or some shit like that. 'Cause it was one
But
of-
everybody was transgender, or most was.
No, it was one. It was the one that tried to kiss
All
her.
right, so one person in particular was transgender, right? And the transgender female tried to give Genuine a kiss. And he's like, no, I'm cool. Proceeding up to that, she was like, the transgender person, so I'm clear, was like, I'm a female. Forget trans part, whatever. I'm just a female now. Then they had the sex change, the operation, they had the whole 9 done. So you would kiss a female, right? So if I'm just a female, and if you're respecting as a female, why wouldn't you give me a kiss? And then she tried to kiss Genuine without his permission or consent, and he pushed away.
And they defended the trans.
Yeah, it's been on
versus-
Twitter.
Yeah.
On Twitter, the whole LGBTQ. They came at Genuine calling him transphobic, homophobic, that whole thing. What's your stance based on what you say your perspective is on that as far as disclosing or in how you identify? What's your point of view on that?
I'm gonna just keep it all in the real. The gay community is too fucking sensitive for me.
Woo! Yo!
Top 5.
Yeah, yo!
The gay community is too fucking sensitive. The era I come from, motherfuckers punch you in your shit if they knew you was trans and trying to kiss them. She better be lucky she got her teeth. Now, I'm gonna say, being real, don't nobody gotta fucking accept you.
That's what I was about to do. You
Don't
know
nobody
how
gotta
to accept it?
No, because I accept myself, and it took me a long time to do that. And bitch, why you trying to kiss him anyway when you know what you are, and he don't gotta accept you?
Right, and that's my whole thing. That's my only thing, because I was, last 2 years been transition for me as far as accepting the whole gay community thing, or that whole thing.
No, but
me maturing and being more
This is
mindful
what I
of
got
it.
to say. Like, and this is to the LBG too. And if it's some of y'all on here on the live,
It's a few.
what's up? I said it, and I'm saying it now. They try to make it seem like that there aren't transgender people who think like her. They think like everybody is just so sensitive, and it's just like, oh well, they deserve this and they deserve that, and which they do. But at the same time, you don't think that it's a transsexual somewhere or transgender somewhere knowing like, yo, that motherfucker was dead wrong for trying to put the moves on that grown man after they said no. They try to make it seem like that he was dead wrong for rejecting it, even if it was a woman. Even if it was a woman
but
trying
beyond
to kiss
that-
him and he rejected it.
Beyond,
Like, it's like,
beyond that, what I was saying is like, okay, how a transgender, transsexual person, how you see yourself is fine, but that doesn't mean I have to participate in that as well.
Right.
That's how you see it, and I respect you that way and all that. But respect, we'll get to that.
That us being trans, we need to be more humble, and this is why, because back in the day, motherfuckers like y'all, not y'all, but you know, like older masculine men didn't even look our way. Like we had to fight so hard to get what we have now. Like, you know what I'm saying? To be accepted, to be seen in public. You know what I'm saying? To come out in the light. Like, so I feel like we should be more humble and take shit one step at a time. Like, damn, like how, like what y'all want? Like, we're not real girls. We'll never be real girls. Even if you got a pussy, you'll never be a real girl because you will always have history of being a man. Right or wrong.
That's right.
So
That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it.
I think that's how. I think that's how most. I think that's how most. I think that's how most heterosexual men feel.
Yeah.
And that this agenda that it feels like being pushed.
That's that old white people CNN, Fox News, all that bullshit, bro. That's just like how that. These the same fucking networks that would get on TV and make it seem like nobody voted for Donald Trump.
right.
It's like they try to, and this is why I said I fuck with you, and this is why I dap you and hug you the way that I am, because like she's saying exactly what how we feel.
Right.
But how I said, like, yo, it's got to be some of them in the world. It's got to be some transgender people in the world who think like she thinks. They make it seem like none of them think like that.
I agree.
Like they
That's
all
why
think.
I get offended with the gay community only because, like, yes, we're supposed to stick. But at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And you got some transgenders out here who never had their ass beat. I'm just keeping it real. You got transgenders out here from white families, subsidized families, middle class families who never had to fight, who never had to go through a nigga putting a pistol to their motherfucking head because they are what they are. You know what I'm saying? They had private school and they was getting hormones at 10 years old and shit like that. So it's different for them.
Yeah.
But when you got real bitches from the hood who know what time it is and know a nigga I'll fuck you for that shit, you're not even going to approach no man like that. You want to sit your ass, you don't even want to be seen. That's how I feel. Like, I don't even like going to straight clubs. Like, I don't care how pretty I am. Like, I would never just willingly say, oh, I'm just going to go to a straight club. You know what I'm saying?
You feel in danger?
Yeah, I do. Because, you know, if I'm famous and I got a security team, that's different. Yeah, a bitch can fight and all that, but it ain't worth it. Like, niggas will set you up. Like, they'll act like they're cool with the team and be waiting for you in the parking lot when the club leave. You know, I've been through shit like that. You know,
Right.
I'm a TS girl, so I don't play that shit. Like, and I feel like niggas deserve that respect. Like, period.
So, okay, can I ask you one more question? Is it considered gay when two transgender people are in a relationship? Like, what are y'all? Where are y'all considered like?
Yeah, I mean, if it's dick on dick, like, I mean, I don't want to make man on man, two penises equals gay. Two vaginas equals gay. That's what it is. I don't care.
Is there a difference between if it's a trans and a masculine man?
No.
Or is it, okay,
I mean,
it's the
it's
same.
mean.
Okay, all right. Do
So-
you discriminate? Like, are you like? Would you be like, you know, like open to dating a transgender woman? No. Oh, okay.
So if a man deals with you, do you consider him gay, straight, or what have you? Gay?
Gay.
Okay. Again,
From the outside,
I'm
we
surprised.
We gotta go to a commercial break.
I'm surprised.
We gotta take one. We gotta take one.
Well, the live don't stop.
Situation, because this kind of, I'm not gonna say it reminds me, but this is like, listen, man, you should be really, really proud of yourself. I'm proud of you because you know you in your skin and you wear it and you wear it well and you accept it and you're not ashamed of it, and that's big, man.
That's because I'm about beat though. No, my fault. I disrespected you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Somebody named Star is asking about you, and Janaya saying what's up to you. Janaya Bell said, "Hey, Asia Boo." Angelica's saying she love you. So you got fans out here.
For sure.
Definitely.
Hey, y'all.
But how did that Dwight Howard situation make either of you feel?
What did I
Y'all
miss
believe
though?
We just talked about.
I don't think y'all talking about it at all.
No.
We
We
didn't
ain't talking about it yet. No. We
But I
didn't.
heard about it.
Yeah. Well, see, Dwight Howard got caught up in the transgender scandal, where it's alleged the transgender's lying because she
lied
tried
about
it on.
other
Yeah,
people
was it little baby?
Well, I don't
I
know.
think it was.
Somebody else.
No, it was
It's like Chinks or somebody.
not Change Drugs. No, it was some. I think it was little baby. I forgot who it was. It was one popping artist that she tried it on, and they also said she sold the camera to somebody, took the money, and didn't sell it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It
But
can be a believable. It can be the truth and it can't be the truth.
how do y'all feel? Like, how do you feel about it? Number one, do you feel as though it's true? And number two, do you feel as though it is something worth hiding?
It could be true. But I don't respect it if it is true. Because, yeah, so you can answer it.
You should chime in. What I said, and how I felt about it is like, this goes back to a lot of trans people. You know, like they get in these situationships with a lot of these athletes and entertainers and shit like that, and you know they getting the money and they keeping it on the hush. But then once things go left or they decide to break it off, now you want to air out every fucking thing. But then you do the worst thing about it, like you want to sell it to like gossip and sell it to all these gossip sites to try to get money out of it. When if you would have just kept your fucking mouth shut, you could have got the money anyway. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yes, it's wrong to live a lie. Absolutely, it's wrong to be ashamed.
It's called a gay bash.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's wrong to do something that you're ashamed of. Yes, but at the same time, If you came into the situation knowing what you got yourself into, then that's exactly how you should leave it. You never know, that nigga might double back and fuck with you again because you handled it in a thorough way. Okay, things didn't work out. All right. I'm going to tuck my tail between my legs, no pun intended, and I'm going to keep it moving. Now, if that carousel happens to spin back around, then hey, we can give it another shot.
I really don't think he fucked her.
I don't think he did either.
You know why? She ain't got no titties and nothing.
I don't think he did either. But
Like, she ugly. Like,
yeah,
it's still a man. It's just like a man with a wig
Like,
on.
ugly bitches get fucked every day.
they do, yo, because
Because to be honest, the pretty bitches like me get cheated on for bitches like her. So I can believe it. I'm being real. Because you want to why? Because them bitches is always available. They free. They very low budget.
And they never got
they don't
their
have
kids.
nothing else to live for.
they never got their kids. Their kids like live with their grandma and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. I'm telling the truth.
So this is, I heard your perspective, and I get that. What I was thinking about is, if I'm gay, trans, or whatever, for someone who is gay or trans or whatever, how do you then use that to then bash someone else or to shame someone else?
I don't get your question.
So, if I'm transgender, right? If I'm transgender and I'm proud of myself, I'm happy with my decision, I'm happy with my life and all that. Why would I then out somebody as if it's something bad? Like, oh, you was over the transgender as if it's something to be picked about or be made fun of.
So you're saying why do other transgenders basically bash other transgenders?
Not that when they want to out somebody, they're using their sexuality as a way to shame the supposedly straight
That's
person.
exactly what I said.
Because I feel like bitches don't get enough dick or attention. Because if you getting plenty dick, why you gotta worry about exposing this one? You got plenty more to worry about.
Because he's up here on the pedestal and everybody else is just regular
That's
people.
exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
If you got plenty of players in the top, why you worried about exposing one?
I don't know, yo. I think it's just for a check. And that's what I'm just saying. Like, you got to stop that shit, yeah.
It's not worth the money. Because at the end of the day, a nigga will respect you if y'all go through text and y'all arguing, pussy, fuck you, X, Y, Z, as opposed to what? I'm gonna do this and do that, and then you really do it. Like, niggas that do fuck with your niggas ain't gonna fuck with you.
Right.
Cause you ain't through.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So now you just fucked up. Like, okay, they might have gave you 20 grand for those
You
pictures.
fucking
But
your
what
name
happened?
up.
Yeah, but what
That's
happened?
everything.
Now everybody don't want to fuck with you because now it's like, oh, she gonna run her fucking mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's you fucked your own self up. You know what I mean? It's just like I told this prostitute one time that sucked my dick, right? I told her, I said, look,
I'm
she
deep.
said, look, no, it's a true story.
They gave it a quick 40.
No, look, right? Look, and she was just about getting the money. And I'm just like, yeah, but what about customer satisfaction? If I'm not satisfied, I'll never come back here again. And if everybody else not satisfied, they'll never come back. Am I right? And that's the same thing. It's about
I
satisfaction.
don't want to chime in with that subject because I can go in right now.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
No,
By all means, go ahead.
but what I will say is black tricks, because that's what you are when you pay a prostitute. You're now a trick.
Okay.
So,
I thought you was a John.
oh my God, that is like if you tripping on how you're really are. Like, oh, your grown bitches ain't saying that. Or bitches that post on Backpage ain't saying that.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean?
No, it's Max 80.
Why you telling my boyfriend with the gold one?
My bad, son.
I'm your boyfriend?
Well, he already be, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's
He already be paying bitches the 50, giving bitches away my $50.
Oh man.
Back up.
Oh man.
Look, ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, we all right. It's something to pay.
It's called the
We all right. It's something. It's a joke. But look, seriously, this thing is keep. I didn't like it.
Yo.
Didn't it just fall on me? I didn't touch
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you could have gave your own $50 though, man. No, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. That's what I do. He said it was her.
No, it was his, but that's $50.
That could have been you, right? That's what I'm saying. Like that could have
Why
got
would
us
you think that
some
way?
seafood. That could have got us some seafood platters. You know what I mean? And you giving it to her.
Right. So
Was it worth it?
No. I'm gonna choose.
So you're a dumb
I'm
motherfucker.
gonna tell you the truth. Can I tell you the truth.
Tell me the truth. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Since you want to put my business out there.
Go ahead.
Not that deep.
Yes, it is.
All right,
Like you said it. You said it on
No,
a
hold
public
on.
platform. This is a public platform. People watching and all that.
All right, but go ahead. Go ahead. What happened? Tell me. I'm listening to you.
What happened was, right, you know, I've always fucked with women. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So, you know, being with her, like, I wasn't cheating, like, and none of that stuff, this, that, and the third. So, when we was going through stuff, like, you know, I haven't been with a woman in a long time. So, I'm like, you know, do I still got it? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do I still got it? So I, you know, I
But
try
got
to
the
trick it.
$50 or got the
No, like, can I still fuck a bitch?
Okay.
Like, you understand what I'm saying?
That's-
And like, I was scared, yo.
At 30
Scared the
years
fuck the
old.
chick.
At
I
30
was
years old.
scared.
But you was fucking chicks before you.
I was, but like, you know,
So that
people
sounds like
looking
a
at
poor
me
excuse to
different.
me, right? 'Cause you're not lying it.
People look at me different.
But she don't know you.
She didn't know me, but it's my sack though, because I've been with this person for this long of a time, where though in that time I haven't been with a woman in that span of time.
I don't know. You
All right, so look, hold on.
I'm telling the truth.
No,
Might be his
hold
own
on.
kind of
But I
thing.
can,
Like,
I
they call it
can,
bullshit.
I can agree with this. All right.
Right, now-
So look, so now was it that you couldn't get aroused because
My
she
dick
was
couldn't get hard.
I got
yesterday.
look, bro. I be going through the same shit.
No, it's no.
No, I got you. I got
No,
you.
listen.
Go ahead.
Listen, right?
Because you're so adamant on telling the details instead of just leaving the story where it's at. Because you know it could cause a fight right now.
Okay.
So just, you know, don't play.
It's the past.
Right.
Right?
Can I ask one question? It's not about the story per se. Never mind, I want to ask a question.
Okay,
No, do you still find women attractive? Like women with vagina? Do you would you
Like,
ever find a woman could you
like,
ever
when we wasn't
would you
together,
ever get
I
around
was-
let's just say you see a chick walking by and she got a fat ass, would you ever be like, damn, I'm saying,
If I'm
okay.
high on the e-pill or something,
That's
but
not true. You said the white girl was pretty yesterday.
just because I compliment girls all the time.
Right, but that's a compliment. That don't mean that you lust
I
for
don't.
them.
He said a fat ass. That's lusting. He mean, do I get aroused basically when I see a bad bitch with her pussy out basically?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
You would?
Yeah.
Would you
if
get
I'm
up in
high
them
or
guts?
drunk, but
Would you get up in the guts?
no.
You wouldn't?
I'm allergic to that.
So with
Have you ever tried it before? Have you
with
ever-
men.
Yes, and it's disgusting.
with men, do you give and take, or you just take?
Oh no, sweetie. I'm a woman. I like to take it.
And does butthole feel a lot different than pussy?
I'm fucking
I'm from
dead.
girls in their ass too, though, so you know.
It's the same to you. Now, do you, okay, all right, now, how does, look, now these questions that we ask you, I don't want to be offensive, man, but I really want to know. Okay, all right, now look, as far as oral sex go,
You like you, bro.
is it she do you and you do her type of thing?
Oh man.
She like for me, I'll be that bit, like when I be fucking with
You put lotion or bad things?
you. You know,
But you a man and you got manly hands and that shit. My person cause scabs and stuff.
they asking me personal questions.
Why would you say that though? Like, you're supposed to play it off like, no, I don't get into that. Like, you tell all my personal fantasies.
You said you like you had it on here,
You are.
right? Like this is what I be talking about.
That's why I didn't want him to get.
So you're against receiving oral sex from your
I mean, no. Like, if you do it, you do it. Like, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, I don't get aroused if I'm horny enough. Like, you know, but my thing is like sucking my titties and stuff like that. I don't like. I think if a boy go down on me, I look at you completely different. Especially if you dress like yo. Like, I would be over it.
I would hope so.
Oh my god, like, cause it make me think that you are fucking, and I'm gonna keep it real, like.
Don't say that word.
I'm not gonna say that word.
Okay.
I think boys suck dick better than girls.
But girls eat pussy better than women. I mean, better than guys. Yeah, because they know how they want to. I'm not an expert person. I ain't never sucked a dick. I ain't interested either. No
I
offense.
think boys suck dick better than girls, like from just personal experience. You know, you got some girls that's just naturally monsters, of course, but it's some niggas out here who know how they be wanting they dick chewed up, so they eat dick up like they want. You know what I'm saying? So, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's a turn off, but
Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Don't be, man.
I'm very uncomfortable.
I'm open. Well, not open as sexual, but like, open to the interview because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I came in, like, once you got here, I'm thinking, like, yo, she's going to be thinking, like, you know, well, they're offensive and they're offending me and we was going to get dumped up from the LGBT.
I've been in light skin, like, for 2-3 years straight, so I'm pretty used to the offensive.
Yeah.
And I know how to take shit real well.
Yeah. So
We haven't offended you, have we?
No.
I'm making sure.
Yeah, but one more question for you, and then, you know, so I know you said, you know, you didn't feel like you going through the changes that you went through wasn't something like, oh, I felt like I was born in the wrong body. It just was something that you just wanted to do.
I do feel like I was born in the wrong body because everything about me is girl. Like, I'm not like super masculine or like I don't like boy shit. Like I don't even like rap music. Like, you know, like, it gets deep.
But you was in the track.
Cause of him though, like listening to Future and shit. When you in somebody else's car, you can't just put on Ariana Grande, you know?
Okay. I got you.
All right. So when it comes to being in Philly, I feel like Philly, every other week, somebody new was getting exposed to dealing with trans and all that kind of stuff like that. Especially the entertainers. I'm not going to ask you to say nobody's name. Has there been any notable entertainers, rappers, etc. come at you?
Yes.
Say their names out there. I want to know. I ain't gonna say nothing, so I just want to know.
I'm actually the princess of Philly.
Say that again?
I'm actually the princess of Philly.
The princess of Philly. Why do you say that?
Because, and like, I call it the underworld because you got niggas who come to the studio, rap, basketball players, do, you know, regular boy shit, big time drug dealers or whatever. But they go to the underworld to get the, you know, satisfy their desires. You know what I'm saying? It could be even
what?
Recommended for sex. Whatever you.
I don't go on all your road.
I'm saying
I'm aware of it, but I don't cruise that street.
After a certain hour, that's considered the underworld.
And I'm not there at that hour.
49th and Lancaster is considered the underworld.
See, look, you talking about things I don't know about.
Man.
Not there.
I hit up 49th and Lancaster. Nah. It's like 6 of them I know, like right off the top of my hand. But like, what? 49th? Yeah, you know any more? You know any more? Like, hole in the wall?
I'm kind of troubled that you know this information.
Yeah.
Because they get
So,
40 bucks, you got me right. It was my birthday, too.
Oh my God.
so you have escorted before?
Still do from time to time.
How do you feel about
A
that?
little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Okay. Probably pay back.
He don't like it, and neither do I. But when the bills need to be paid, your cable cut off. When you know you're a little late on rent, you know, it's not something I enjoy. I'm not gonna like when I was young, being rural. Even with him being here, I would never disrespect him. But being rural, when I was younger and I didn't have a guidance, I was lost before I met him and found myself. I thought it was cool. But now that I'm older and I'm starting to know my worth, and I want a steady paycheck and do stuff productively, I don't think it's cool. You know, it's just growing up being transgender and wanting people to accept you. You know, you're young. You're not older in this state of mind. You know, whereas though you don't care about acceptance. You're young. You want people to accept you. You want friends. So I was just hanging around the wrong crowd. Good thing I never did drugs, but I was just hanging around the wrong crowd and I got caught up in some shit, and that's how it happened. Period.
All right, so I want to ask. I don't mean to cut you off. I want to ask this. I've interviewed porn stars. I've always wanted to interview somebody off a back page to understand how do you get into that. And then back page escort. How do you get into that? And like you said, that feeling of a stranger knocking on your door, or you going to their house, you don't know who they is, then they climbing on you, or whatever, however the process is. How does that fuck with your psyche? Then moving on, how you look at men differently, all of that.
And do you offer GFE?
Explain what GFE is.
Girlfriend experience, bro.
So
That's
what?
how you know he get down and dirty. He like them cheap bitches. He get down and dirty. He
So-
wants you-
Well, see, no,
he
look.
wants
So
you
what-
buying-
So hold on.
Oh, absolutely,
So,
yes.
so can you?
No socks on.
No. No. Look, but hold on though. Wait, time
So
out.
what is GFE?
Time out.
Oh, what
GFE, but
What makes it different?
It makes a big difference because if it's GFE, if it's
So let me
GFE,
explain.
I think you were saying there was a difference.
It makes a difference because GFE is a girlfriend experience. You get paid after.
yeah.
One, you don't, a normal escort. Oh, baby, you need my stuff. When I walk in, I would like my donation on the dresser.
Donation. Okay.
Yes, donation, because anything extra, you get locked. So I would like my donation on the table, whatever.
I gave a GFE her money up front.
Well, she's crazy. But, yeah,
But-
that's what it is.
So continue explaining the GFE
And
part.
girlfriend experience, you kissing, you doing whatever. You can do it raw, you can get busted, cream pie. Look.
Yeah, you could. A lot of them don't be with that raw shit. I mean, they'll suck your dick raw, but like you can't fuck her raw though. Excuse my bluntness, but no, you can't. Like
So
a lot
that's
of
pretty
them.
much what the girlfriend experience
Yeah.
is.
But that's so
After
you don't
nut,
feel like you
After you
prostitute.
nut, you laid up, you laying up smoking weed, and drinking. That's the girlfriend
I
experience.
thought it was a 420 thing.
That's 420 friendly. That's if you got weed already.
Is when or like when a guy say, "Oh, we want a party," that could remain either tea or coke or weed or drink. But you gotta be specific.
Yeah.
Because a lot of motherfuckers think every transgender do coke, and I don't do that shit at all.
But also with she's saying laid up smoking, watching a movie and all that, it's got to be within the time frame though. So if you pay for a half hour, it's like that's all you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna get. I'm serious.
I'm gonna start calling you
best
Trick
bet-
Daddy.
No, you could. You could. But so look, right, so your best bet is to get the hour a lot of them be doing like hour specials, get the hour. And some of them will let you go more than once in the hour.
You think I be bullshit. That's fucking the truth. But so back to what you were asking.
Oh man.
I got down with Backpage when I was 18, 19 years old.
Man, you were so young.
Yeah. Well, I was sucking dick at 16, so what the fuck? I was doing all this in high school. Like,
But that's like runaway age though.
well, I was in college at 17, so I was grown.
What school did you go
I
to?
went to Lackawanna College
Okay.
in Scranton.
That's a small school, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to buy a fake degree that said I went there.
But yeah, I got expelled from school due to an incident with like my twin brother. It was like a long incident. But make a long story short, I got expelled from school and I had linked up with one of my girlfriends and she had me like, we used to get on the party line. This is when the party line was popping.
How old are you?
I'm 25. We used to get on the party line.
Perhaps popping for your age, really?
It was popping. We used to get on the party line, niggas used to come over, whatever, pay us or whatever, and then she used to live right up the street from Oya Road. We started going to Oya Road, I started getting into my affairs. But,
Was this during the
yeah, this is
years?
way before the titties. And,
Okay,
that's
okay,
how you
gotcha.
know niggas is gay, because they like niggas with flat checks.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like niggas, I was just making my coins, and as I got older, I started to, I guess, get into my transition, get into my look start coming together, and the more passive you are, the more they pay you. Like, that's how it is in the game. It ain't about you being freaky, because it's bitches who can't even take dick, they get paid twice as much as, So, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Going to clients' houses, like, it's real dangerous. It's a risk that you take, but you so fucking down and out in the world, like, you ain't got no job, you ain't got no way to survive. So that's your only bet, to put yourself up against harm's way, because this nigga sitting here telling me, yeah, I got 200 for you for alcohol, I'm going to take that fucking $200. You know what I'm saying? Period. But you live and you learn.
Right. I always said if I was going to be a pimp, I'd probably have transgender.
Pimping is not where it's at no more, because the pimp getting more charges than the prostitute do. And the prostitute is telling them to pimp.
Yeah, they are ungrateful bitches.
All right. So have you ever been assaulted in your travels?
Yeah. A lot.
A lot.
If it makes you emotional, you don't have to.
Oh, you see it in my face?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want you crying.
Yes,
shit.
I'm not gonna cry, but admit, yes, I know. And
Have you ever got somebody that like didn't want to pay you? That's like, yo,
Can I tell this story? Can I tell this story? It's not like rude. All right, so this one time, right, on the road, like cold as shit outside. Went out there, rent due, phone bill due, just down and out in the world. Lost, need to make my money. It's cold as shit outside.
Lost.
Lost like
oh,
a
let me all this way.
This
I'm the
fucking
Kanye
nigga,
Jones.
like, yo, like, all I got is 60, like, so I'm like, man, I don't even, do it for 60, but I'm gonna take that 60 tonight. Fuck that shit, I'm gonna go in the house with me, so we chilling. He fucking got mad because I didn't want to suck his dick raw, so this pussy had mace on the side of his door. Like, good thing I'm street smart enough to just clock body language. And he like, so you ain't gonna suck it raw? I need half bad pussy. I'm not sucking your dick for $30. Like, no shade, I'm not doing it. So I'm like, what? Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm cool. Like, he like, all right, then give me my shit back, give me my bread back. Mind you, I already performed on him with a condom. He kept trying to make me take it off. So I'm like, no, like, I'm just cool, taking me back to where I was. I seen him reaching for something there. I already was in an incident prior to that, so I told myself, like, don't let nobody hurt you again, like, that's what I said. So I seen him reaching for something, so I'm like, I'm thinking it's a gun again, and I'm just like, fuck that shit. So I opened the door and I ran. It was mace, though. Like, he tried to mace me, and probably was trying to mace me and try to beat me the fuck up or something. Like, I don't fucking know. He tried to mace me, but the mace got on the door, and then he got out the car and was chasing me, but I had flip-flops on, and I was just running so fast, like, God, if you let me get away, like, I would never do this shit again. Like, but of course I did.
Oh, God. Yes. Sure.
Sorry, God, I was lying.
Has there ever been a situation where you, like, seen one of your Johns, like, out with his girlfriend or his wife or something like that?
I never had a John.
I'm sorry, what?
I was always an independent worker.
I'm saying, like...
Oh, a treat. Oh, a treat. Yeah. Yeah.
And did you go, like, if his girl don't know?
No. I don't even, like, if they speak to me, I speak back, but if I see, like, one of my tricks or something, I act like I don't even fucking know them. I walk right the fuck past. You'll never know.
I'm just saying, like, you don't look like...
Hell no. What am I looking at you for? I'm going to later on tonight. What am I looking at you for? Our contact gonna give it up. I need you to be in my contact. Hit me up. Damn, that was real smooth what you did.
Right. Yeah. Hey, it was another one I went. Oh, have you ever went to a client's house and this shit was like dirty and nasty and trash?
You know I did.
Did you? Okay, like did you stay and get paid anyway?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I stayed and got paid. Yeah, I done did some shit back in my little time, but that's, you know what I'm saying? For free, for cheap, for all that shit, but.
But never for like a Chinese food platter or nothing like that.
I was never like there down and out. Like I was pretty, so like niggas always damn shorty, you can have this batch of weed, you can have this. I was always pretty. So
Yeah, be down and out to do it for the Chinese platter.
Yeah.
that's the fuck you do.
No, sometimes your food, sometimes the popular stores in your area don't take don't take stamps, so you can't get no hot food.
No,
so boy, gonna get you a bottle, some weed,
I
and platter.
always
You
looked at it
good.
like
When I was in Southwest, that's how I got. Yo, listen, bro. I was at one point. I was like 3 a day. All I had to do was get on weed and feed him.
My young boy over there, he could tell you some stories about how the basement used to be.
The basement? Where at your house?
Our shit was fucking. You wouldn't believe. Like I don't have on camera, be on camera, but yeah, it was bad.
So can I ask you a question? You enjoy paying for pussy on a budget?
No.
I'm just asking.
I haven't done it like a lot. I just know about it.
Oh, okay.
That's not something I just
No, I'm just asking because you seem like really educated and in depth in what you get into. I mean, clearly you research what you do. That's lit. Like,
Yeah.
But
I don't mind pussy on
No,
the
to
budget
answer your
though.
question. No, I don't.
What's wrong with budget pussy though? I have no problem with budget pussy.
I feel like you gotta be. You what?
You can pay for it one way or another. With time spent.
He paid
That's
all
not
that
the
cool
same
shit.
though.
When he had a job and shit was rolling, he was paying for this pussy. You was paying for this pussy.
Last time I paid for pussy.
me ask you
Anytime
this.
you got a
I
girlfriend or
really
wife,
paid for pussy was when I thought I was going to jail.
Slide up. I'm gonna ask you this question.
Your fucking stories are like, yo, what?
I want to ask you this
Oh, you need a
question.
place to stay.
No, like, I thought I was going to jail. So, I'm like, all right, don't have no girlfriend. I ain't got no pussy, so I'm gonna go trick somebody. That was the last time I tricked
Let me ask you this question.
So this is recent.
No.
Let me ask you a question.
Before your time.
Let me ask you this question. Would you rather sit on the phone with this girl for days on end, talking about her bullshit life, her bullshit day? She complaining about her kids, her baby dad, who get on her nerves at work, all that cool shit like that. You gotta listen to this shit for a week. Or it's get $40 to get what you want for real and get out the way.
No. That you gotta take that bullshit.
All that.
Wow.
You gotta take that bullshit because if you fuck her for the $40 and for however much you want to pay, you didn't fuck her off your jig.
Can I ask
She
you
not gonna
something?
do
Who cares? That's your pride. That's your pride. That's a pride thing.
Go ahead.
Now, us, me being a female, do y'all really think that we want to sit there and tell y'all our fucking problems?
Yeah.
Why y'all- Yes,
Yeah.
why y'all do it?
Yeah.
I got some
I'm
chick
gonna be real. Like, it's times where sometimes girls test me, like, just to see if y'all gonna say, man, like, the era like my mom grew up in and stuff, like when I used to hear about her story, nigga, you could get $300 out of a nigga and he'll tell you to go about your business. Like, I'm talking about 300 fat ones, you know what I'm saying? Get a bag, get roses sent to your job, all that shit. I just feel like nowadays niggas is not genuine. They don't really give a fuck. Like, they just want what they want. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And if you ain't giving them what they want, they don't have no interest in you. Like, period.
I'm gonna keep this 100, and they probably won't co-sign it. If a female didn't have pussy, men not really interested anyway.